Who wants to make some homemade chili? I know I grew up on chili from a box. You had all the spices in the box, you throw in some ground beef, throw in some water, throw in the spice mix, and voila, you have some chili. But let's talk about making chili from scratch, using your own spices, your own vegetables, and then you can have some fun with it. So let's talk about making some bacon and some bourbon chili. Bacon, bourbon, elk chili. That sounds like a lot of fun. So I like a lot of vegetables in my chili, so we're gonna have a lot of vegetables, some elk, and I'm also at altitude, and it's very arid, so we're gonna do a little bit of moisture management a little bit differently. So when I get this all done and settled, I'm going to put what's called a cartouche on top of it, which is essentially I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to cut it a little bit larger than, circular, a little bit larger than the pan, and put it on there to keep the moisture in. A little bit different than a pan because it just handles the moisture a little bit different. So let it simmer down and go from there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of butter, because butter makes everything better. I'm going to have fat from the bacon, but I like butter. Butter makes everything better. So once again, I'm using a copper pan, so it heats up real fast. I just turned the heat on. This is a 2mm pan, so it's going to hold the heat real evenly. So I'm going to get, first thing we do is get the butter going. Then once again, principles of cooking. I've already chopped everything. Everything's ready to go. So all I have to do is cook. So my bacon is already chopped. So I'm going to throw some bacon in the butter. This just, doesn't that just sound magical? Yeah. Oh, bacon and butter. Who doesn't like bacon and butter? I mean, come on. Let's get that going. Get some bacon and butter going. Yeah. And I chopped it about yay big. And handle raw bacon, you gotta wash your hands a lot. Oh, and once again, I'm out of garlic, fresh garlic, so I'm gonna use the garlic. Got a little secret, remember. So we're gonna render this bacon down. So we want this to go on low because we want this bacon to get plenty of time to render it down. Alright, so I got this bacon rendering down. Another reason I like to make bacon with my elk chilies is because elk is just so lean. And bacon fat, I'm not gonna drain out that bacon fat. I'm gonna leave it in there, just because I don't have any fat from the beef. So I'm gonna just leave it in. Well, fat's good for you. Fat's flavor. You know, if you look at the food pyramid, you used to get a lot of sugar in your foods. I don't put any sugar in my cooking. You know, fat's flavor. That's something that's we do a lot of nowadays. We should look at is using like tallows for cooking for oils. You know, beef tallow is a real good grease for cooking. So I tend to keep a lot of my renderings for cooking. And one of the things I like to do is, one of my little secrets is when I smoke a prime rib, I'll keep I'll cut out the fat, the good fat of it, that soft fat. I'll save it from that smoke. Oh, I'm putting leeks in. This is a chopped up leek. I'll save that the fat, and I'll render it down from the prime rib. I'll make candles out of it. And then when I have a party, I'll put that candle out and I'll light it on it. Just take like a plate, put the candle in the middle, put some garlic and some thyme, put that smoked fat from the prime rib, and melt down that garlic, put the sourdough boulet. You can dip that sourdough in that smoked prime rib fat. Everybody will ask, what is this voodoo that you do? And they'll keep coming back. It'll be like Pavlov's dog. Yeah. They'll ring the bell and they'll start to salivate. Alright, so I got some leeks in there. So I got some, normally when I cook like this I use a sweet onion, but now I got some red onion. I got some celery. Got some celery going. Got some red onion. Normally I use sweet onion, but in red chili I like to use red onion. Put all my vegetables in here. Then I have peppers. So the peppers I use is 3 to 1. Good size jalapenos 3 and 1 bell pepper. I'm not a big fan of bell peppers, but I like a little bit in chili. I'm just going to cook these vegetables down, sweat them down in this bacon grease. Cook them down a little bit. Let them go slow. I got the temperature on low. There's low and slow. Everybody likes low and slow. Don't rush things. No fast food in here. Alright, we're just going to let that cook for a little bit. I'm about halfway through cooking these vegetables down. And now I'm going to add in all of my peppers. I don't put the peppers in right away because I want them a little bit more structured. They're going to break down anyways, but I don't want them as much browning on them as the other vegetables. But I like a lot of peppers in my chili. I'm putting a lot of jalapenos in there. I like a lot of jalapenos. I love jalapenos. But you can put however many you want in there. And I'm making, I got 2 pounds. These are a pound each. I got 2 pounds. I freeze them in 1 pound blocks. So I got 2 pounds of elk. And then I'm gonna put in some tomatoes. Probably use about half of this. I don't need a lot of tomatoes. So I'm gonna cook all these vegetables down. And this pot's gonna be pretty full. But that's all the liquid I'm gonna have is gonna be from the tomatoes. I might add a little bit of beef stock. But we'll see when we get there and how much liquid we need. Just let these cook down. Alright, so I've had these cooking for a bit. Now I'm going to add the garlic. I don't add the garlic too early because garlic will burn. A lot of people like to add garlic early. And then the butter, the fats, but garlic burns. So I always add it later on. I don't want burnt garlic. So now I'm going to stir the garlic in. And it's garlic. I know. People say that if you can't peel garlic, you don't deserve garlic. But I haven't gone down to the store because it's going to take me an hour and a half to go get garlic, and I just haven't gone down to the grocery store. Seems like every time I try to go to the grocery store, I just end up at the river fishing. Because I keep my fishing rod in my car. So I start to drive down there and I see the river. And I stop, and next thing I know, it's 3 hours later, and I tend to just drive back. So I haven't gone to get garlic. Fishing always seems to get in the way. So now I got the garlic stirring in there. But I'm going to let that just cook for a while. One thing I didn't mention is I'm turning up the heat because I want to get some brown. I did want to get some brown in these vegetables. I want to get that bottom because that bottom I want to get some brown on it. And it's gonna A lot of people think that's bad. You know, it's burning on the bottom. No, it's not. That's flavor. And that's where we're going to take the bourbon later on. We'll use that to deglaze the pan. So we're going to take this bourbon and just get all that, scrape that off the bottom, and just pour some bourbon in, scrape, put more bourbon, scrape. And that's really what's going to be good. So we're going to let these vegetables just sit there and cook on the bottom, and we're going to scrape all that flavor off and get that mixed up in there. That's going to be nice and delicious. All right, we've got these vegetables in a perfect state. So I'm going to put in some bourbon and deglaze the pan. All this deliciousness, you gotta get it off the bottom of the pan. All that alcohol is going to cook out, so don't worry about having alcohol in it. You see, you get an idea of what it looks like. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty this out. I got a mixing bowl here. I'm going to empty this out and I'm going to work on getting the elk meat cooked up. So, turn the heat off. And as you can see in the bottom of the pan, after deglazing it, I got all the brown out of there, all that stuff that was cooked on there. It all came out with that bourbon. Alright. So now I'm going to turn the heat back on. As I put the ground elk in there, I have one of these handy dandy things. A doohickey is the technical term for it. I'm going to put in some olive oil. And I've had these elk cubes sitting out. Come up to room temperature. With red meat, I have them come up room temperature. With chicken, I do not. And I'm just going to take and chop this up. This is a plastic, so I'm not scratching. This is not a tin line pan. This is a stainless steel pan. A little bit more robust than some of the tin line pans that I have. I'm just going to brown out this meat. I'm going to add some more garlic into this. Some, sorry, not garlic, jarlic. I'm going to put this away before anybody sees it. And now I'm just going to brown out this, mixing that garlic. And I'm going to add in salt and pepper. I haven't put salt and pepper in it yet, but I'm going to start putting some in the beef, or in the elk meat. I'm just going to brown this up nice and easy. Alright, I got this meat all cooked up, and there's hardly any fat in the bottom of the pan at all. The elk is very, very lean. So I'm going to add just a little bit more bourbon into the elk meat, because I like bourbon. I gotta deglaze the pan with this elk because there's no fat in here at all. Alright. So now I'm gonna add in some tomatoes. I had some tomatoes I canned, but I'm out. So I'm using what the good Lord gave me, which is store-bought tomatoes. I'll put as much as I want. I don't want to buy that much. I'm going to see how that mixes in. I don't need a lot of tomatoes. To me, tomatoes are a nightshade and they cause inflammation. They don't settle well with me, so I don't need a lot of tomatoes. I love them. I just don't need a lot of them. Add a little bit more. Same with eggplant. I love eggplant. Just don't eat a lot of it. Alright. Now, I'm going to add in the vegetables back in. I'm going to turn this temperature down. Low, low, low. Mix in these vegetables. More vegetables. Alright, pot's getting pretty full. That's not a problem. And more vegetables. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my spices. And so fresh spices, when you buy them fresh, you put them in much later. When you use dry spices, you put them in early in the cooking process. So I'm using all dry spices. So for this, I got some chili powder, some cumin, some cayenne, and I'm going to put in a little bit of sage, because I like sage. And I'll put in some more salt and pepper, but then I'm going to taste it and see how it all tastes. Alright, let's just put in some chili powder. Alright. Chili powder, cayenne pepper. I like cayenne pepper. I'm not going to be afraid of it. You can be afraid of it. I'm not going to be afraid of it. You can be afraid of whatever you want. Oh, this is a new bottle. I got to open this bottle up. I wasn't prepared. I'm always preaching be prepared, and I wasn't prepared. Yeah, practice what you preach. Now I'm ready. Sound like the dodo birds off Ice Age. It's starting to smell like a pot of chili. I can tell you that much. Mix that in nice and good. It's a little bit dry, so I do have some beef broth I'm going to add in here. Now, I'm using Better Than Bouillon, which is a broth, not a stock. Because broth is, or stock is made when you boil the bones down for a long time, you got all the good collagens out. Broth is basically just when you boil enough to get the flavor out, but you don't get all the collagens. All right, that's the difference between stock and broth. I think we'll need some more salt and pepper in this. I haven't even tasted it yet, but I know I'm gonna need salt and pepper because I haven't put enough in. Give that a good stir, and we give it a taste, see if I get the flavors right. It's not going to be cooked through. Still got a lot of meshing of the flavors to do, but you can tell me if I got the spice profile right. Let's see what it needs. That's damn good. That's damn good. Use a little more chili powder, because even though it's good, it can make it better. Because there's good, then there's damn good. I want it to be damn good. Life's too short for good. I want it to be damn good. You know what I'm going to put in? I'm going to put in some paprika. Yeah. Let me get down some paprika. Hell yeah. Why not put some paprika in there? I like paprika. Smoked hot paprika. I'm going to give this a stir. And this is way too much for me to eat by myself, so I'm going to give some away to neighbors down the mountain, freeze some of it. And it's February 10th. I think it's the 10th. I haven't had red meat since Christmas, so I'm going to eat a lot of this myself. I'm a little bit under the weather and the storm's coming in, so this is going to be perfect for me. Let's see what we got going on now. Oh, yeah. So, remember I talked about the cartouche? I'm going to put that on there. Down low. Just gonna let that cook. Just like that. And I'm going to let this cook for a while now. And I'm going to be smelling it. I'm probably going to come back and have to give it like a bunch of taste tests. Because I'm just going to have to do that. Because it's damn good. That's all. Have fun.